Hello and welcome to Babbles Travelling Yarns from my new craft room. Ooh. Good. What day is today? I've no idea. I've lost all track of time. But that's okay. I have a few minutes, so I thought I would show you a few bits and a mad decision that I've decided to make. Right. So since the last time, I was showing you a quilt that I did, and I decided to add on an extra strip because the quilt that I made was 8 strips by 10 rows. So I just needed to, it was basically too long and not wide enough. So I decided to add another strip of 10. So now it's 9 by 10, if you know what I mean. Does that make sense? Yeah, so I'll show you that real quick. Oh, I started going to this class by the postnatal coach, and we did squats yesterday, and I'm a broken lady. So this is my quilt cover. So this is the log cabin quilt that I showed you last week. If you want to see me talking in full about it, pop back to last week's. I think it was episode 137. And I add on? No, that's the old one. I actually had to dig into my stash and cut up some more some more fabric, just to make sure that I had new fabric enough to do the long edges. Yes, this is it. So this is a scrappy log cabin blanket or quilt cover. It's going to be on our master bedroom and our master bed, and it's basically the last 2.5 years in scraps, and I think it's a lovely heirloom. But I added on this row. So if I hold it this way, I'm hoping that it's not, because a lot of the fabric is kind of new, but I think it matches okay. And I still managed to have an extra block. So I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Does anyone have any ideas about what to do with extra blocks? Because I haven't a clue. But I think it's the whole thing is so scrappy that it's actually lovely. It fits in everywhere. So I'm delighted with this. There's some absolutely beautiful fabrics in here. I love this little part here, and I'm obsessed with this fabric, which was gifted to me from a friend. I don't know if it was, I can't remember who it was, because I got a load at once. But there's some super beautiful fabrics in here. And what I didn't realize was there was actually some fabric from just a bunch that I got, and I saw the fabric. This is the fabric here. I saw this on So Sweet Violet's Instagram, and she has this beautiful advent calendar, Christmas advent calendar, using this fabric. And I was like, oh my God, where did you get it? Because I only had like an A4 size piece. It was a very small little piece. And it turns out it was Liberty Lawn. And I'm like, oh God, I cut it up to put it into a scrappy blanket. But like, sometimes you just have to let go and use the precious things in your life. You know, they're materials, as in to be used into something, you know. So no, I'm really, really happy that, so this was one of them, and then where else? This one I think is another one. There's just some gorgeous fabrics. So I'm delighted with that. So I finally got it to the size I want. So now the next plan is I have quite a lot of navy left now, but I've put navy into everything. But I suppose that would, I don't know, I'm kind of sick of navy on quilts at the moment because I have a lot of it. But I think it would really put a lovely edge on it. I also have like a deep green, which might be nice as well. Oh, it's all the way down into the depths of my scrap heap of fabric. So I'll have to do some measuring and see if I have enough to do that. Now, the other thing is that I don't really have too much scraps to do a border, I don't think. This is my scraps now. The problem with doing a scrappy blanket is you always end up with leftovers. So these are kind of the smallest pieces. I got rid of everything that was under, say, 1.5 inches. And so my plan is to eventually make a crumb blanket, a crumb quilt. But this is the Liberty fabric. It's just so pretty. It's so nice. I feel like I need to turn this like this, and the light is a bit better there now. Yeah, and I have my beautiful Marion Prince drawing back there up on the wall. So these are super lovely, but again, you know, you might as well use the beautiful things that you have. Look at this one. Beautiful. So I think I'm going to use these and put them into my oh, that's a good idea. Put them into my, what's it called? English paper piecing. So yeah, so I have these scraps left over now, and some of them are bigger than others. I have a few which actually I had started to do like a charm squares. So I have a big layer of charm packs. Hello, is my baby coming? Oh. No, that's absolutely fine. Yeah. I got my 2 minutes and I showed you my quilt, so I'll be back later on to show you my next project. It's okay. Turns out he just wanted to announce to the public that she's just gone to the toilet. So great. So I'm going to leave this in a very organized bundle there. And we're going to move on to my next project. So the last time I showed you, I had finished the last thing I've knit was a little baby bonnet, the beloved pattern by Tin Can Knits. And I haven't really cast on anything else. I was going to cast on another what's that? Another nappy cover, but I'm also bored to tears of the nappy covers. I think also the last one I knit, I actually need to cast on and knit a bit higher at the back. I need to add on a few extra short rows because it's a bit low and there's a little bit of leaking up the top if the nappy underneath isn't covered. Hello. Stop it. Go away. It's all up here. Oh, great. Lovely. Have a bath her. Do you want to give her a proper bath in her little baby baths? Good luck. Now, so the next project kind of came upon me all of a sudden in a rush. If you can see back here, you see this shelf. That's all my whips. I did a big whip count at the start of the year and I went through them all and I was like, and there's some that I've ripped out and there's some that I've said, yeah, I'll do them. And to be honest, I think I got through about 4. Yeah, So I think I'm doing pretty well. But of course I've cast on loads of other things in the meantime. But they're all like small baby things. I haven't cast on a big thing in a while. And then sure look, didn't I turn around on Instagram there yesterday and I saw the Westnet's Cal had started and I was like, oh, what's that about? Oh, it looks interesting. And then I looked at the first spoiler. I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm fascinated and obsessed. Now, no, I've done one Westnet's Cal before, and I will show you. I have it here. I have not worn it at all, so I really should learn. So this is the Starflake shawl. And he said that this year's is going to be very similar in size. So this is the Starflake shawl, and I made a mistake at the bottom there, and I did a few extra. I didn't anyway. It doesn't matter. But yeah, I haven't worn it. But it is so pretty though. Isn't that lovely? I haven't looked at it in ages. And this is my own hand-dyed yarn, actually. So I felt really, really proud of it. And I remember I brought it to Barcelona. I actually managed to make it pretty much within the time limit, actually, because Barcelona is the first or second weekend in November. I'm not going this year. I'm going to go up and visit my sister. And we're going to do our first little overnight with a relative, but and Siobhan, she wants to do some babysitting, and I'm like, okay, so that's my plan. But I'm obsessed with this little edge. I remember this edge was really nice to make, actually. So anyway, guess who's starting the Westnet's knit along, and I'm just after so I'm putting it into my, actually this has become my working bag. Any project that I'm working on has this bag. There's no point in me owning any other bags. This is my Cottage number 9. It's a wraparound bag with pull ties, and it has handles. And she's a Limerick maker, an Irish maker, and I'm absolutely obsessed with her beautiful things. She also gifted me a few little changing mats, which are so handy. They're so lovely. Just little mats to lay her down on. So yeah. So last night we've been often not. I think she's starting to teeth, so it's been a rough couple of days. So in between, like, jogging her around and stuff, I was looking at my yarn stash. My yarn stash, which is like my fingering weight yarn, is all here on the couch now. So I pulled everything out. So you need 5 skeins in total. I don't know how much I'm actually going to need. If it's only like I need like 10 grams of the second ball, I'm going to be pissed. But I have a bit of faith, whatever. And yeah, so there's some yarn there that I bought when I was first coming back to Ireland. It was absolutely beautiful yarn, and I saw it and I was like, oh, it was really difficult to actually pin down this color thing, because I didn't really have enough colors in my favorite color, which is kind of this color or like a deep blue. But I had loads of other colors which were sitting there waiting to be used, and I decided now's the time. So I have a lot of 3 skein sweater quantities, which now wouldn't fit me because I'm a little bigger. So I'm like, what do I do with these? Well, one splits them up. So this is Ellie and Ada. She is an Irish yarn dyer, and I am just, this colorway is a long time ago now. I would say 7 years. 2017, 6 years, 7 years at least. And yeah, so this is Superwash Merino singles. I've decided to use all singles because this kind of shawl, it's handy. It's nice actually to use the singles because I wouldn't use the singles for a garment now. I've used them once before and I think it's just a bad idea. It's a bit of a waste because the singles yarn just isn't as durable as a plied yarn. So yeah, so this is Ellie and Ada 100% superwash merino, so it doesn't even have any nylon. So ideal for you know, something that's not going to get a lot of wear. It's hand dyed in County Meath. It's machine washable. Oh, it's superwash. I've never. Okay. Each skein is unique and the colour may bleed after a couple of washes. So this colourway is Leaf. And it has this absolutely stunning, intense, like green. It was almost like it was yellow and then over dyed with a black. I'd call this like a chartreuse color and it just glows. Absolutely beautiful. So I had 3 skeins of this. So I'm using 2 skeins. And then the next color I saw with it, which had that similar kind of glow, but you need like a contrast color and a main color and you need 2 skeins of these. But I had this other, and I was actually going to knit the Hitafude cardigan out of these, but it's Norn yarn in this beautiful storm grey. And this color she dyed up specifically for woolen, I believe. I don't know what year, but it's called Dyflin and it's the Old Norse word for Dublin. Because Dublin was actually a Viking settlement. Originally, that's how the town would have like developed. Is one of its people who used to hang out there were the Vikings. So Dyflin was the original Viking name. So this sort of steely grey, kind of stormy November. Piss and rain on the tarmac. I'm obsessed with it. I absolutely love it. It really gives that sort of glint and she just gets such even and beautiful dye jobs. Absolutely beautiful. So this again is another single. I'd say it'll react to the same. Oh no, it is merino, silk and yak. 480 meters. Very, very, very good yardage actually on that. And it's a singles base. Singles, merino, silk and yak. Just pure luxury. So that's Norn yarn. She is a Norwegian dyer. Absolutely beautiful. Tuva is her name. And you need to buy I've got a huge stash of hers and I'm so glad that I'm going to use this. Now I have an extra one of these because again I was going to make a cardigan out of it, a Hitafude, and this actually would be beautiful as lace, a loose lace. Now I'd be concerned about under the arms with a singles base, but this is just stunning, absolutely stunning. Maybe like a you know those scarves which are kind of attached to kind of act like a poncho. I think that would be perfect for that. Anyway, the next color, so there's one final color and it's a pop. It's an absolute pop color, and they call it an accent color. But because I had this idea that when I saw everybody knitting it up, and I was like, I had this one skein of yarn that I have in my stash for maybe 2 years. Oh, at least 3 years actually, pandemic time, forgot to count in that. And didn't know what to do with it. I got it as a kind of a, oh my God, so out of my comfort zone. And it's basically calls for a West Knit pattern because it's all about the crazy colours. It's so bright. It makes everything else in this room look like midnight. It is so bright. This is La Bien-Aimée and the color is, it's J. Kim. Oh, yes. So this is one of the guys who works for, one of the people who works for Amy, and it's basically the signature color, J. Kim. I can't remember his Instagram, but absolutely beautiful. And it's got these gorgeous kind of green specks, which I think will go really nicely with this. But it's a high enough contrast to actually make a difference. And then, so this is where we're going to go. This is my plan. Now I took a little black and white color photo, and these are very similar tones, but I'm hoping that the color difference will help, and the fact that it's quite like glowy as well, like it'll hopefully catch the light and pull any detail out. What really got me is Stephen was on Instagram Live, and he was talking through everybody's colours, and he was talking about like the best things to do, where to put mohair, where to not, where to think about detail and where to not. And I was like, this would be incredible for fine detail on a shawl, like lace or texture or whatever he puts in there. So hopefully now this will work. I think when I put it on Instagram, I got such a visceral reaction from everyone being like, this is the one, all the rest are crap. And I was like, Grant, cool. So I'm very excited about that. I've got my first clue here, and I'm going to start. So for the next couple of podcasts, if you're not interested or if you don't want to be spoiled, I will be putting up like a spoiler alert, or I will be telling you about the spoiler alert before talking about it. But I would like to talk freely and openly about the pattern when obviously the clues are released. So I will be giving you a spoiler. To me personally, I freaking love spoilers. I love spoilers. It's so exciting watching them and seeing them. So sorry, I don't know why I started playing with a wet bag so loud. So I'm going to keep my bits organized, and that's what I'm going to do for the next month. I'm very excited. So I suppose I just want to have a little chat really about how my life has been going the last couple of days since I spoke to you last. Honestly, I can't remember when it was. I feel like it was only yesterday. But yeah, so I'm kind of at the stage of newborndom. So she's 3 months now, ish, give or take. I can't remember actually. And so she's waking about three, 4 times a night. And now I'm used to on-call life, right? I'm used to waking up in the middle of the night and getting in my car and driving to a hospital and just staying up for 2 hours, and doing a scan and all the rest of it. This is very different, but I think my body is kind of trained into like a lack of continuous sleep. I think I'm pretty used to kind of all over the place sleeping. Now, I hadn't been doing any call while I was pregnant, so which made me worry, maybe I'm not used to it, but I think I'm pretty good at adapting to it. So I don't have to get up, I don't have to drive anywhere, and I don't have to do anything really complicated. All I'm doing is feeding my baby. And luckily she goes back to sleep very easily at night. So I'm basically only up for I only need to be up for maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. The problem is then not going on my phone while I'm feeding and going back to bed myself, going back to sleep myself. So, yeah, it's starting to catch up on me a little bit, especially when I've loads of stuff planned during the day. I actually have a couple of really, really amazing mum groups that I really want to go to, and I'm a big organizer. Like, I love organizing things. I love setting down dates, setting down times, organizing meetings with people. Like, that's what I do. I really love it. But I know when I do have lots of things planned in the day, I am so exhausted. So I really need to just dial it back. And I think a project like this, where you have to sit and knit, it's pretty good to do. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start off now while my baby needs me, which is right now.
Now is now.
Now is now.
You can see a foot if you like.
Oh yeah, another little foot. Oh, tasty. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and I'll let you know how I get on.